Hello, I am Siham, your host, and today we're going to talk about addiction. We will cover everything from causes people to get addicted. We have with us Albert. Albert, I will give you a few seconds to introduce yourself.
My name is Albert, and I live in New York. And I have some experience, both personally with addiction when I was younger, and subsequent to that with working as a counselor with other addicts that were in recovery. So I have
Okay.
experience from both sides.
Thank you for being here with us today.
So, the usage of alcohol, drugs in general, interferes with family, social life, work, health, emotional stability. Chemical dependency is a real problem. It affects individuals from all walks of life and tragically impacts also family and friends of the dependents. So let's talk about addiction.
Uh, well, ultimately, addiction is any behavior that causes your life to become dysfunctional or causes any kind of, problems so that you're not able to maintain your life properly. Generally, we associate it with drugs and alcohol, but people also become addicted to food, sex, shopping, things like this. So it doesn't have to necessarily be drugs, but it usually is tied to some kind of behavior which gives a reward to the person. When I say reward, I'm talking about a dopamine spike. So a chemical reaction in the brain that makes you feel a sense of pleasure.
Going back to addiction, there's no single face of addiction, right? Many people think, of a poor inner city teenager when they picture a heroin addict, but that's not the case, correct?
Not necessarily so. No, not at all. Addiction transcends all socioeconomic levels. And like I said, it's not necessarily tied to drug addiction, although heroin addiction and opiate addiction, which I know we're going to talk about today as well, has skyrocketed in the last 20 years. So it's a major, major issue, and lots of people are dying from it. If you want to talk about that a little bit.
I want to bring up that a lot of people seem to think that it's a choice. So, is it a choice? Is it considered an illness or a disease? Or is it a character flaw? And what do you think?
Yeah, that's a little bit of a tricky thing because although it is a choice to engage in a behavior in the beginning, like for example with narcotics, only 1 in 10 people who experiment or play with narcotics end up becoming addicted. And of that 1%, a smaller percentage will become, what we term hardcore long-term drug addicts. They will not be able to stop. That percentage of people that is not able to stop, almost all of them are found to have had suffered severe childhood trauma and things like this. So addiction specialists think it's a type of self-medicating that goes on, and that's why they're not able to stop. But it is absolutely a disease. Once you start taking chemicals, you alter your body's own chemistry. And when you take them for a long enough period, you alter them permanently. So that, let's say, heroin addicts, they end up with severe depression sometimes, which they never experienced before they became heroin addicts. And that is because these drugs, powerful drugs, alter our brain's natural chemistry, its ability to produce very important chemicals like dopamine, endorphins, various neurotransmitters, which are very important to normal functioning.